Hi, it's Jane from Care for Accounting, and today we're going to be looking at should you do your own bookkeeping. With so many user-friendly accounting packages on the market these days, is it worth paying someone else to do it for you? The recent Making Tax Digital changes mean that eventually every business, whether sole trader or limited company, will have to start submitting their data digitally. For most businesses, this will mean using some sort of accounting package. So in the past, most accounting packages were designed for accountants to use, or at least someone with some financial knowledge. And the biggest change over the last few years has been that the newer packages, and in particular the cloud accounting packages, are designed much more with business owners in mind rather than accountants. And this means that the packages are much more user-friendly and accessible, and features like the direct bank feed make the process even easier. So if it's so easy, why not do your own books? Why pay someone else? I'm going to talk through the main pros and cons of doing your own bookkeeping. And we'll do things a bit backwards and start with the disadvantages. So what are the cons? What are the disadvantages? Well, number one is the learning curve. Depending on how tech savvy you are, there might be some learning curve involved with the accounting package. And although the latest packages are designed to be super user-friendly, there's still going to be a certain amount of learning how to do things. And there's also learning on the bookkeeping side, finding out how to record and allocate the different transactions that are particular to your business and the way you do things. And all of this takes time and it takes mental energy. And there's cost. Many of the accounting packages do cost money. Now, there are some basic free ones, but you might find that those that have got features that are really useful to your business do have a cost involved. And lastly, number three, we're back to time. It'll take time to do your own bookkeeping. And time is money, or so they say. So for many people, this is one of the tasks that gets relegated to doing it at home in the evenings rather than during the working day. But obviously working in the evenings has an impact on your personal life, so that's not always great. You need to be sure that you can find time to get the task done. So, why bother if there's all those disadvantages? Well, let's move on to the pros. Let's look at some of the benefits of doing your own bookkeeping. So number one, back to money, it can be cheaper. Doing your own books can reduce the cost of your accounting fees, and that's even taking into account what you might have to pay for an accounting package. But this does come with a proviso. It's only going to be cheaper if you're putting things more or less in the right place. As an accountant, I can sometimes spend more time unpicking people's mistakes than it would have taken me to put the data in myself. Number two, closer to your business. Entering your bookkeeping data yourself makes you look again at your business transactions and what's going on. You might start to see patterns emerging that weren't apparent before. You can get a better feel for where the money's going and where it's coming from. You might start to see some sales opportunities or ways that you can reduce your costs. And number three is real time. If you can be disciplined about doing your books on a weekly or monthly basis, then you're going to start to get some information that could be of real use to your business. Most accounting packages produce at least the basic reports such as profit and loss, the debtors, the creditors. So you can use this information to start to work out how much to put aside for tax, see who owes you money, what bills you've got coming up to help you manage your cash flow. So we've been through the main pros and cons, or really should be cons and pros. So what's the verdict? Is it worth it? Is it worth doing your own books? Well, I think like many things in business, deciding whether to do your own bookkeeping is going to come down to that time-cost balance. Are the time-money balance, are the financial savings and other benefits going to be worth the time costs? And only you can decide that. But if you do decide to go ahead and take the plunge to do your own books, here are my top 3 tips to help you get started with them. Number 1, pick the right package, because accounting packages come in all different shapes, sizes and price points. If you do have an accountant, they can help you talk through some options, help you choose something that suits you personally and your business needs. There's no point in paying for all the bells and whistles that you're never going to use, but at the same time, there's no point in being too stingy when paying for a particular feature might actually save you time and money in the long run. So number two, my top tip number two is, if in doubt, ask. Again, no one is born with the innate knowledge of what to put in cost of sales. So if you have an accountant, they really, really won't mind you asking questions about where to put things, because it saves them time. And if you're using a cloud system, it makes it even easier for them to collaborate with you on this kind of thing. And number three, be consistent. It doesn't matter if you put something in the wrong place, as long as you always put it in the same wrong place. And then it's very easy for your accountant to correct this. What makes it really difficult and time consuming is when it's in 3 or 4 or even 5 different wrong places. So I hope that's helped you with your decision. So speaking personally, I think if you're interested and have the time, it can be really worthwhile for you as a business owner to do your own bookkeeping, at least for a while. And that way, when you get grilled about your business financials on The Apprentice or Dragon's Den, you'll be able to answer all the questions. So that's it for today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.